So I am more than happy today to be with you via this system of video conference, and I will be more than glad if you ask me any question or any observation to make collaboration with you in sharing, exchanging information, skills, and knowledge. So my name is Zoubeir LAFHAJ. I am full professor at Central Lille, which is university in France. Lille is located in the north of France, one kilometer from 1 hour from Paris by high-speed train, half an hour from Brussels by high-speed train, and 1 hour and 20 minutes by from London by high-speed train, which is a very beautiful city located in a very strategic place in Europe. My area of expertise is lean construction, 3D printing in construction, and construction 4.0. And I am working with many companies in France mainly and in Europe, and with many professors in some prestigious university. And I am more than happy to share with you these information. The plan of my presentation will be the following. I will make an introduction and background. I will try to give some definition, and I will give the advantage of modular construction. But in the same time, and I try to have the most theoretical and practical information that means that there is advantage, because I will speak also about disadvantage in the same time, and some international implementation. Then I will give some, I will share with you some knowledge on standardization and customization of that. 6, how to express yourself, some case study. And I try to make a kind of prospection perspective. In the cases of Qatar, I try to give some thoughts, some idea. And I'm more than happy to share with you this initiative. And then I will finish as academic, will give you the main video and the main bibliography of this subject. So the first definition of construction and industrialization is factory prefabrication in a controlled environment followed by on-site assembly. This is what given by CEB. And this defined construction and industrialization as a generic process, process of standardization. So there is this is extremely important, and a rationalization, which is different, of the work and within the industry, in order to achieve cost efficiency, improved quality and productivity, and as you know, security. So for that, the industrialization process is an investment, in fact, in equipment and technology, but also in the human being. It's designed to maximize the production, improve the quality, and to minimize labor requirement. And for labor requirement, there is a lot of work, and there is a very big view, general view of that. It involves innovation in construction method, new business models, which is extremely important for me that today we speak about new business models because people are changing, and project organization. So the first commonly accepted definition, as I said, it was in construction, is prefabrication in a factory. And this is extremely important, that if you ask this question, what does it mean? Industrialization of construction, for many people, there is a lot of definition. Each one have its own definition. But if we try to summarize the common definition, can say that it is a kind of prefabrication in a factory in controlled environment followed by assembly on site. Le Corbusier, which is the French Switzerland architect, extremely very well known, spoke about that since many years before. And he said, big industry takes over the building industry. Big industry takes over the building industry. And this was the convergence that a small group of architects was trying to promote from the early 1920 onwards. They praised standardization which had been in the order of the day in the mechanical engineering industry since the war. And some skills in mechanical industry can be, in fact, involved in construction industry too, and try to shift some of the work that had previously been done on building sites to the factory. Let's see here a cover of magazine in France, which is a magazine which is very well known, Science and Life. And they spoke about prefabrication in 1950. And let's say in the beginning that prefabrication is not modular construction, because we are not in 1950 with the knowledge, with the technology, with the relation of business in these dates. But now we are in 2023, and modular construction is really taking its inspiration from Industry 4.0 or Construction 4.0, let's say. So this is the history, the architects, the vision which was given, which was since many years before. But let's speak about China, which is extremely good example today, because the concept of construction and industrialization emerged in China since 1955. And as you can know, the population is very huge, and some thoughts, some challenges arises in China before that is arises now. And the application of construction and industrialization in residential and non-residential building was highlighted in 1978. Some other definition, for me, it is extremely important in order to say we are speaking about what, in fact. CIB has defined the industrialization of construction as a generic process of standardization and the rationalization of work within the industry in order to achieve cost, better quality, cost efficiency, better quality, and productivity. We can add something else since that we got COVID, because the time became more important too. The industrialization process is an investment. This is very important now. If you are interested by modular construction, by the industrialization of construction, you have to think that there is an investment to do in equipment and technology, but also in a human, as I am working on lean construction, and designed to maximize this production. So we are speaking about production as we speak in automotive or aeronautic industry, improving quality and minimizing labor requirements. So I am repeating what I said before, but the pedagogy is the art of repeating things. So would like to, but the beginning is based on the definition. And this implies that the innovation in construction model, business models, and project organization. What are the steps of industrialization? Because there is a lot of people that they thought that we can make a robotization very quickly. And this is really important, that there is some work which was done. And for the industrialization, there is prefabrication in the beginning. Then we have to think about mechanization. Then we have to think about automation. And automation is not automatic. So this is very important to know. Then we can think about robotization or robotics. And then we can think about reproduction. So if we want to make modular construction in a factory, there is a lot of steps that we have to master. And this is really important to know, and not to go very fast to make robotization without any work of design, any work of sweeping rules, any work of inspiring from the work which was done before for many years with others. So as I said, to automation, the term is reserved for electromechanical devices controlled in the system. So, as I said, there is some steps before modular construction, before robotization of the construction, let's say, or industrialization of the construction. Let's see now what is happening in robotization. Look to this data, 2021. It is the competition in robotization in the world. You see South Korea in the beginning, Japan, Germany, China, Sweden, USA, Switzerland, Italy, Canada, and France. France, we are very, very, very late. And we can explain that. And if you see very quickly South Korea, it means a lot, in fact, because in South Korea, this country is a very small country, but extremely well known by innovation. And this is something that we have to keep, that robotization must be used mainly for innovation, mainly to reduce penability of the worker. So the robots is not replacing the worker, but doing things that the worker cannot do. And the brain of the worker can be used for another thing. This is really important to know. But the second thing that we have to see is China. Since the COVID, there is a change in all the strategy of all the countries in the world. So the industry, the China, make a massive robotization of their country. So look, 51% of increase of robotization in China, 22% in Japan, 13% in USA, 65% in Italy, 6% in Germany, 31% in Taiwan, and 11%, which means that since 21, there is a kind of order of investment in robotization, but since the COVID, there is a massive investment in robotization. And the gap between this country with the other world will become huge, because this country knows now that they have to make a massive investment in robotization, in innovation, in another way to think to the world, to the skills, to the knowledge for that. So let's give a kind of definition of, I don't like the word off-site construction, because really I prefer the word modular construction because I am academic. Off-site construction, very well used by industry, but I prefer modular construction involved assembling standardized prefabricated element in a factory and transporting them to the construction site for assembly. Off-site prefabrication and modular construction are used interchangeably and cover a range of different approaches and systems. These systems vary according to the complexity of the element to be assembled. The simplest are individual elements. They are assembled using standard connection and interface. Why I prefer the term modular construction rather than off-site construction? Because when you speak about modular construction, you involve in the mind, in the design of the engineer, of the industrial, of the worker, this way to think of modular and modules, which is really something normal in industry, normal in automotive, normal in aeronautics, normal in any industry. And we in construction, we didn't think until now that this modularization in the work, quality, scaling is extremely important. When you say off-site construction, in my mind, in my view, you are really far from of this revolution to be more industrial, to make the drivers, which is the knowledge which is drive industry, to take it in account for construction. So different words of different method. We speak about design for manufacturing and assembly. We speak about off-site. We speak about MMC, modern construction method. And this is definition can be given for you to share. Definition, prefabrication, when the project management team designs the project. Industrialization, manufacturing are developing component. Launch a consultation in prefabrication, the architect designs this project using the following component. The builder is pure prototype in prefabrication. It uses DFMA in industrialization. The manufacturing is considered to be a construction company in prefabrication. The manufacturer can set up truly efficient production flows. The factory is not a factory in prefabrication, but a building's activity under a roof. And it's a building approach in prefabrication. And it is a product approach in industrialization. This is my opinion, which is kind of summarize what I heard, what I learned, what I discussed with many people. So there is a lot of people, thanks to their knowledge that they share for me, that I am only making transfer of this knowledge for you. Some example, advantage, the target market, now the new buildings and the renovation. You have to know, and I would like to share to you, that in France, since 1 year, all the strategy, the policy of France is based on renovation. This is very important to know for many reasons, mainly linked to climate change, and for other reasons which are not climate change, which is linked to the history, the history and the culture of France and the vision of the market in the world. So modular workplace using Russian carbide Vanta modular, and some news in this case, and it can be used also in renovation. Let's see here the forecast for building types with the most frequent use of prefabrication and modular construction in the United States since between 2019 and 2021. Health care facilities, 80% index. Hotels and models, multifamily, college buildings, office low site, schools, public buildings, commercial warehouses, manufacturing buildings. You see this forecast for buildings types, which is extremely important, only since 2019. And I think, in my opinion, there is two reasons for that: climate change and also the COVID, which is really changed a lot of things in the work. The advantage in economy, ecology, human resources. It seems that the modular construction reduces carbon footprinting by minus 30%. Less transportation. Only example. Reduce delay and inconvenience. Reduces waste. We know the materials that we use. We make recycling materials very easy, and this is really important. We control that, minus 80%. Improving quality, we are in an industrial process with many control of quality. Improving safety, plus 50%, because safety is in the mind of industry rather than in construction. Optimize costs, we master the flow in, the flow out, creates industrial jobs, frees up skills labor on for the site. Advantage two, example, the Marriott Hotel offsite, I will see, let's you see.
And a severe shortage of skilled labor in the workforce. Developers and contractors around the world are now rebooting the concept of offsite construction, integrating new technologies and manufacturing approaches, and embracing it on a scale not seen before. Emerging as a front runner in the hospitality market, hotel giant Marriott is now finalizing plans to construct its latest New York City hotel using factory-built modules in just 90 days. Set to stand 26 stories high, Marriott's new AC Nomad Hotel will be the tallest prefabricated structure of its kind anywhere in the world. Designed by Danny Forster and Architecture, the hotel uses symmetry to make efficient use of its small Manhattan site, while offsetting the tower to the street in order to create a more dynamic and visually appealing form. Two key factors drove Marriott's decision to embrace an off-site modular construction approach: speed of delivery and cost. With high construction demand and a severe shortage of skilled labor in the United States construction sector, Marriott has seen the average build time for its new US hotels rise by 50% since 2011, a factor which significantly impacts revenue when capitalizing on new and growing markets. While comparable structures would typically cost in excess of $100 million when built with traditional construction methods, The AC Nomad will cost just $70 million to build, even with the costs of factory manufacture and transportation accounted for. Additionally, by making use of factory-produced modules, site-specific tasks such as excavation and foundation works can be undertaken concurrently, while the structure's modules are fabricated away from site. Despite a slightly longer pre-construction design and planning phase, this approach can reduce the on-site build time for a project of this scale by up to 6 months, while reducing the amount of on-site labor required by nearly 70%. The AC Nomad's lobby and lower amenity floors will be constructed on-site using traditional construction methods. However, the hotel rooms themselves will be assembled in Poland before being shipped to the United States. Due to their size, the delivery of these modules must be carried out at night, when New York streets are able to accommodate the oversized loads. Arriving fully furnished, complete with bedding and toiletries, the modules will be simply lifted from their trucks and positioned on the tower. With just 8 modules required to form a floor, the structure will be able to rise significantly faster than a comparable building constructed with traditional methods. While speed and cost were the primary drivers behind Marriott's use of off-site construction techniques, the approach in fact provides a range of benefits. Constructing the tower's modules under controlled conditions allows quality to be greatly improved. This means that, regardless of the weather, changing site environment, or the location of each module within the building, every room will be delivered to a consistently high standard. While the operation of a factory and transportation must all be considered, prefabricated approaches can significantly reduce waste in the construction process, limiting the overall environmental impact of new developments. In traditional hotel construction, neighboring rooms often share a single wall. However, factory-built modules typically call for an insulated gap between each unit, resulting in quieter rooms and a more enjoyable experience for guests. Using the AC Nomad, the world's tallest modular hotel to date, as a starting point, Marriott is planning to construct 25% of their new hotels using prefabricated methods over the next 5 years.
As you see, advantages faster construction, saving more than 6 months. 30% at least as cost reduction. 70% of the work force is prefabricated. The lobby and lower floors of the hotel are traditionally built on site. And this is really, really impressive example. Let's see now some expected benefits as given by McKinsey in 50% time saving if you use modular construction, 20% of reduction in cost, annual saving of 20 billion in the US in the scale of the country. And in Europe, by 2030, stakeholder satisfaction, increased collaboration, and responding to the housing crisis. This is some really interesting data. We can compare here construction cost traditional. So we have some examples that we can share with you soon. Let's see now the phase of safety, more safer. Less work at height, fewer vehicle movement, factory work is much safer, fewer people on site, the sites are generally quieter. This is very, very important. The quieter now we work a lot in the cities, in the downtown. Construction sites are cleaner and more orderly, but also we can add, since the COVID, people don't like to meet each other for the problem of the health. So the safety is really improved in this case. To be faster, significantly faster, between 20 and 25%, and we have the reference. Fewer alteration, working in parallel on and off site. Few incidents such as accident and bad weather. The environment is extremely good in this case in a factory. Reduces lead times, manufacturing capacity reserved to the design stage. Less scaffolding and formwork, and easier planning for assembly work and logistics. Greener. Decarbonization of projects during assembly and use. This is really important. Reducing environment pollution during the assembly process. You know, the production, during the construction site, it is 60% of production of carbon, and in the factory, it will be really less. Improved possibility for sealing the buildings. Less waste, because we control the flow in, the flow out. Can be used to modernize and renovate buildings as Energy Strong in Europe, which is a really important operation rising from Holland. Even in France now, there is a lot of company working on it. More efficient, a more reliable product and reduced maintenance costs, as in aeronautics, as in automotive. This is very important. Maintenance and assembly process taken into account right from the design stage. Consistent quality of a grade richer than the customer requires. Deliver a better overall quality product with the less rework. Easier to maintain. Let's here now see the carbon impact. Alaska oil field host. How we have here the hotels, 450 rooms rest inside the Arctic Circle, where the temperature can drop to -39. We can think about Qatar, but in the opposite temperature. So we can see here the work alive on average 80 kilometers from the site, the work alive on average 10 kilometers from the plant. And this is really important. You can see, we can see here the transport of the worker, and here the total CO2 gain as more than 30%. Which is very important nowadays. Modular construction and decarbonization. As we see, the product life cycle. We have the production phase, the construction phase, the use and maintenance phase, and of-life phase. We can see, we can observe, we can measure 20% reduction of needed materials, 80% of reduction of transportation, 52% reduction of waste. Based on design choices, modular design can help reduce up to 60% of embodied carbon and easier recyclability, deconstruction, and reuse of modular components. This is the link between decarbonization and modular construction. All over the world, off-site is growing very fast. We have a lot of examples in Singapore. Off-site installation is compulsory in Singapore for 80% of new homes. I think that Qatar can be inspired by that. There is a lot of things that I studied. There is a lot of things which are similar between Qatar and Singapore. Really a lot of things. I was surprised by that. Vista Modular in USA, Vista Modular created in 2014, creating temporary accommodation. In UK also. In Sweden, avec Lindbacks, created in 1920. 2,500 homes per year, product of social land boards. All over the world, off-site is growing very fast. You can hear you say the supply, construction, labor, and here the demand. You can see UK, Australia, Singapore, Republic Czech. You can see here Italy, France. I didn't see Qatar. So this is very important. Canada, look to that. You can see a lot the demand. So this is very important. Current off-site of sharing these houses, 40, Finland, Norway, Japan, Germany, China, Australia, UK, and US. Let's see the example of China. In Changsha, the Chinese company Broad Group elected this 10-story prefabricated building in 28 hours. Look to this example, a constructed system building a skyscraper around the world under license from local player. In Japan, Shikusuham and Toyota Homes. Less than 6 hours to dismantle a house. 80% of materials are recycled. This is really interesting. Shikusuham since 1960, 2.5 million homes built, 8 factory, 1 modules for each 33 minutes, 13 homes a year, and homes guaranteed for 65 years. This is really important to know, the guarantees of homes. Germany, some example, the Wernick Group are committed to being a carbon zero company by 2040. So design and optimization, delivery and install, sustainable manufacturing, completion and HOVA, site preparation, full aftercare service. Bridge between Copenhagen, Denmark, and Norway. I visited many times with my student and with my PhD also. Really impressive, really beautiful, really interesting. A large part of the huge structure, the pillar, spans, and caisson, was prefabricated on land and transported by ship to the construction site for assembly. It gives us a lot of ideas. And policy in the UK, building of site housing to create a job through innovation. There is a lot of movement in modular construction in UK. Let's focus on this report, which I like it so much, which was edited in 2013. And I know personally Mr. Mark Farmer, who gave this report. And the title is really interesting, Modernize or Die. I met him many times. I invited him in École Centrale, and he's really someone extremely important. Followed by the government, 2021 strategic plan, creation of smart contracts over 5 and 10 years. So more of site housing, more jobs. So the objective is really jobs also. More innovation. And here you can see the largest housing projects in the UK with a start date in 2023 by total projects value. You can here see the offsite tenancy housing, the Brent Cross town major housing, the project Holloway, the Gould Street development, Great Jackson Street, etc., etc. These data are very interesting. Let's see more jobs, potential for 50,000 high productivity jobs, ranging from SME to major innovator, contributing to the competitiveness of regional economy. More of site housing, a program built 75,000 additional high quality homes per year. And this is really a very excellent strategy in UK. Example, a new modular bridges is inaugurated on the M42 ahead of schedule. Sorry for my pronunciation. By delivering factory-made component and assembling them on site, we built abutment walls in 5 days. 5 days, compared with 8 to 12 weeks for traditional method, and did so with the site team averaging just 8 people. This is really very interesting results to know. A lean construction approach, so because there is a lot of link between modular construction and lean construction, and I am invited by Lean Construction Institute, and I am the founder and the president of French Lean Construction Institute. We call it IFCL, l'Institut Français de la Construction Lean. So how should the construction be designed, in fact? Segmented organization by business line, every man or woman for himself. prototype method. Each project is unique, starting from scratch. We can here see beautiful buildings. A prototype is the first concrete realization of project, which remains both experimental and perfectible. And this building, the photo of this building is a Louis Vuitton Foundation, really important near Paris, or in Paris. I invite you to visit it. So an example of student residence traditional culture. You can see here the design is the result of our segmented organization. Students need 18 square meter rooms. In the reality, some student rooms are between 9 to 12 square meter, but in this case, it is 18, which is good. Yet the architect has designed 19 different types of bedrooms and 9 different types of bathrooms. So too expensive to design a thin beam with a sufficient level of details to be able to produce industrially. And this is really important. But rationalization and standardization are possible too. So the DFM design from 22 to 4 chamber types, and there is a financial saving, 30%. We can go through this example after that in the question, or if any contact with me. Lean construction for offsite question. We needed to raise an awareness of everyone involved. Prefabrication rather than construction or modular construction. From the first stroke to the pen, encouraging collaborative work. This is really important to change. Don't pit construction against industry. Learn how to meet specific needs using component. Produce efficiency in the factory. Don't forget the learning curve, education, support, and training. So the challenge is to put in place a project management culture that makes industrialization possible. And this cannot be done without taking on account the most important thing, human and collaboration. So the prerequisite required concerted action, good planning through the process, and reaping the benefits from initial contract to final maintenance, public procurement, sorry for the pronunciation, in the design phase, in manufacturing phase, in site logistics, assembly and connection. It seems really that the connection is something extremely important. So the connection between the modules are so important or important as the modules themselves. So this is very important that I can mention here. And operation and maintenance are really important too. For the site logistics, material and manufacturing arrived just in time. So and in the right order, Mosman 2019, I would like to thank a lot Mr. Alain Mosman, who gave us a lot of help, information, and encouragement to do lean construction, mainly for me and all my team and in France and over the world. But I would like to thank him as he needed to be thanked for sharing knowledge, competences, and information. Thank you, Alain. Everything is synchronized with the construction of the site, and this synchronization is extremely important. It means that we have to think before, we have to design before, than working very fast. And thinking with a collaborative model with using a new technology is really something which links to synchronization with the right order. Off-site manufacturing, making a profit, real-time information from the site traces the supply chain back to the manufacturer. Production rates agreed and planned by the whole team, and not only one part. Capacity utilization management are really important. The public procurement, it seems that it is very important when I see, when I observe, when I analyze all the projects. And really, I would like that the public must give the fire for all these kind of projects, because really they are important. Why public is important? Because public is usually thinking about the future and for the sustainability and for the whole society, not only for him. This is very important for public. Early condition. So we can see the prerequisites requires general collaboration for the award of market, for the production, for simplifying the procedure. There is a lot of smart contract now. Can even use in blockchain for that. So the condition, early involvement of manufacturer, everyone understands what the customer wants. The client is very important. Encourage key team members to collaborate and champion the projects, share the results of their collaboration. Using collaborative procurement, thank you, Fischer, Mr. Fischer and Mr. Mose also, and Mr. Womack. Using collaborative procurement, the designer obtains information from all key members of the team, manufacturing, assembly, and key operation supply chain management team. To harness the skills and knowledge of the whole team. And to this knowledge, this skills, this information must be in the ADN of that the quality must be in the culture of the company or of the society. The culture, the quality became a kind of culture. It is normal that we do that with a good culture. To give an example of some contracts, we can see the alliance or integrated project delivery or bilateral contracts or the FAC contract too. So to remember,
Dr. Zoubeir,
yes,
we have, since we are talking about contracts, we have a question from Balaji. He's asking, can you please elaborate on smart contracts? In what sense it is different to traditional contracts?
Very quickly, we have one in the construction side. There is a lot of contract. The contract with the architect, the contract with the client, the contract with, there is a lot of contract, and all the contract make that there is a lot of partner making many contracts. So, as one of the promotive solution, it is the IPD, Integrated Project Delivery Alliance, where all the partner must be on the table and to make only one contract, where all of them share the benefits. And this is really, very, really important. And this needs transparency, needs collaboration, needs respect of the competence of each one, needs that there is a sensibility, and this is very important. And we have a lot of many contracts on that. I can give you some example. There is a big project in Europe where there is a big problems between each one side that it is not my problem to do that, and it is a problem of contract. If the contract was done in the beginning as the alliance and the public be involved, I think that we can win a lot of time wasted and a lot of conflicts, which is done, and it must be done before working, and this is very important. I will skip this part. Let's see here this customize. Can we customize with modular construction? The answer is yes. Data analysis with AI and the traditional method. To succeed with modularization 4.0, companies needs to be able to analyze the data generated by user and customer configuration. The combination of customizable option and interaction with the customer when ordering a product is known as choice navigation. A few tips: create a fast track, make it clear that the customer is at the order configuration state, review the progress as the customer goes through the option, and keep it simple and engaging. Offer inspiration by highlighting other customer creation. And if I return back to the question of the contract, I would like to give some information. Finland, they are really one of the countries that there is a lot of a new good contract that we can find it and we can be inspired by what is done in Finland. Let's see now the modularization 4.0 strategy. So, the first thing is the modules reuse across generation, product series, modules reuse across series and platform, and plug and play modules for fast innovation and adaptable modules for customization. Different modularization strategy fit different products, and there is a lot of good work which has done, and we can be inspired for that. An example of a company in France, small company, it's not a big company, GA Smart Building, was renamed GA Smart Building, and this change of identity markets or groups desire to raise the profile in the intelligent building markets. So GA Smart Building is a specialist in commercial property, and it operates in all area of the property sector, from property development to construction, and including the design of innovative buildings. The group produces the main component needed for its building in 5 factories. This is the active concept. The new skins or so they invest a lot on new materials and new products, which are very important for them. I can give another example in Japan, Toyota Group. Toyota, there is another group whose name is Toyota Housing. So all of us know Toyota in Lean, and all of us know the Toyota cars, but I think there's not a lot of people know Toyota Housing. So applying the advanced technology, it has developed in car manufacturing to the housing construction sector. Toyota Housing is now adding a new value to the concept of housing through the development of high-quality homes. More than 100,000 homes sold in Japan with really, as you see, a partnership with Mitsubishi, guarantees for 60 years technical innovation, no noise, for example.
In 3 days,
Let's
China
see this
constructed
example.
20,000 homes in Africa.
Sorry, I will be back. This is the example in Japan, which is very well known, with even a vision of a city in Japan, thanks to Toyota. And this is really something important that we have to know, that the new buildings, that the new company in the future, perhaps it is kind of a vision between a company, industrial company, and construction company. And this is a new strategy that we can think about it. Let's see now what's happening in China.
In 3 days, China
look to this
constructed
video.
20,000 homes in Africa, and tens of thousands of people gathered to commemorate this amazing feat. In the shortest amount of time, homeless people reside in brand new homes. According to what is known, the $300 million John Dove New City project is the first and biggest large-scale urban project to be started in South Africa. South Africa suggested using 3D printed homes to give people a secure place to live. Although the construction of 3D printed houses will be relatively faster, the cost is too high for average South Africans. We'll see how they constructed 20,000. China's assistance ensured effective and prompt completion of the housing units by bringing cutting-edge construction methods, technology, and knowledge. The project was designed to address the area's urgent housing shortage. Are you tired of watching? Let's see the mind-blowing technology used in the construction. Building parts including walls, floors, and roofs are manufactured off-site in a controlled factory setting as part of prefabrication. The construction site is then visited to quickly assemble these components. By producing full modules that are then assembled to create the final structure, modular construction advances prefabrication. Both techniques can drastically cut down on building time. Complex structural elements can be produced utilizing additive manufacturing methods and 3D printing technology. Large-scale 3D printers have the ability to quickly and precisely create walls, floors, and other building components, potentially cutting down on the amount of time and labor needed for construction. Robotic devices can help with operations like laying bricks, pouring concrete, and managing materials, which will save time and money by eliminating the need for manual labor. On numerous construction sites, a sizable number of skilled experts and laborers would need to be employed at once. To guarantee effective personnel utilization, considerable planning and coordination would be required. There would probably be numerous teams or groups of workers allocated to different specialized jobs during the construction process. Each crew would concentrate on a certain construction-related activity, such as foundation work, structural assembly, or finishing jobs. To reduce inefficiencies and increase efficiency, the construction process would need to be thoroughly streamlined. This might entail streamlining processes and removing bottlenecks, as well as using prefabricated building components that can be swiftly put together. It is essential to guarantee a smooth delivery of building supplies to the job sites. Effective supply chain management, which includes accurate inventory control and on-time deliveries, may avoid delays and maintain the pace of building. Multiple shifts and round-the-clock labor can considerably speed up construction. To ensure productivity and worker well-being, continuous construction operations, including night shifts, would need sufficient illumination, safety precautions, and supervision. And here ends today's video about the marvelous construction within a period of 3 days.
So let's see. This is incredible what is happening. 20,000 houses in 3 days in Africa, 300 million, innovation, prefabricated and 3D printing, efficiency, workplace management, streamlined process. We can discuss about that many times. We have a lot of idea about that. We are working in Central Lille on 3D printing, on lean construction. We can even say, I can even say if it is really prefabricated or modular construction, what is it in reality? So this is a lot of discussion that we can share. This video, for me, gives only one idea about that there is a lot of things which is happening, and this is very important to know. So a hotel, in another example, a hotel in Jakarta, Hotel Jakarta in Amsterdam, manufacturing in 2.5 months, 13 days on site, 9 floor, 176 modules. Incredible, completely climate neutral, mainly with basic materials such as wood, glass, and concrete. Hotel also in Amsterdam, top of the range in plant production, modules stored off-site. Also, we can see that this hotel, rooms with their prefabricated concrete floors and the wooden walls and roof were prefabricated at the user modular boost system factory in the Netherlands. Every 2 hours, a hotel room was completed on the assembly line, complete with fitting and rooms. We can see also choice of materials. The wooden walls are made from CLT, cross-laminated timbers. For the inner layer of the hotel room, a waste quality is selected with a high aesthetic quality. This innovative and highly environmentally friendly building materials replaces concrete, steel, or brick construction, ceiling, and timber line. The all-new first zero-energy hotel on one of the Amsterdam's most beautiful sites is aiming for BREEAM NL Excellent certification. It really must be mentioned. Modular construction and the BREEAM NL, this is really interesting. Example case study, construction of panel housing inside the jam factory. What is a jam factory? How you are looking inside the jam factory, it was built on a tower. And as each floor is completed in the factory is lifted so that they can work on the next floor. You have here the link of the site. Another example, construction of panel housing for this jump factory. 98% prefabricated and manufactured on site. 482 in it, 36 floors, 18 weeks. 18 weeks. A project that enabled MACE to understand how to improve. East Village, London, another example. MACE, lesson learned from the previous cases too. Former London Analytics website, panel construction, 50 hours to build the floor, 40% reduction in vehicle movement, 60% fewer people on site. Example also of facade slab side connected. Can here see some photo, gives this information. We can see also on-site delivery, how it is improved. Installation of the crane, and photo. Overview video, can see it. Also, you have some information. Module components and details that need to be understood to plan work with very tight tolerance. The drawing shows the tolerance of the locator bushing at 3 millimeters. Can here see the process? 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 14 p.m. after 7 days. We can give another example of the Crossrail project in London in Elizabeth Line. The project involves building a regional express rail network to serve Greater London from east to west, serving 37 stations. Along the way, in 2016, it will be Europe's largest public transport project with over 100 kilometers of track under construction. All the prefabricated works was delivered on time through the chain. And this is really important: modular construction, technology, human, lean construction. And this is really interesting. As example, can see some photo. Here are the samples of the various pier sites and those currently being set up. The cement being prefabricated in the tunnels. We can here see this means that the tunnels will turn left or right on the way up or down. And now I will finish by construction boom in the Gulf states with a plan for more than $3 billion. Let's see the economic growth of countries of the GCC after the pandemic. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and many other countries. What is the difficulties? The poor quality of the construction, breach of the terms of signed contract, the use of cheap buildings materials, late delivery of project, the inability of contractor to complete the projects once construction has begun, labor shortage. What are the challenges? Finding innovative ways to do them better, be more efficient, minimize wasted time, and reduce costs and materials. Let's really say that the difficulties or the challenges are the same in all the countries in the world. But if you see this GCC, there is a lot of things that they can perform and do, and taking in account of all the breadth of knowledge and experience which is given. So the construction sector account for 74% of the state of the Qatar's future project and employ around 26.4% of the currency's total workplace. And the challenges are climate-related innovation, really interesting, the climate related to innovation, durability, as in all the world, collaboration and alliance. I am speaking about alliance and not partnership, smart contract, urban planning, a building quality also. We can say that for the off-site construction of finding sustainable solution in Qatar, there is arid and extreme climate. This is fast maturities, sustainable development also. So the challenges are Qatar has a desert climate with temperature rising 50 degrees in summer. Traditionally, construction exposes worker to this condition, increasing health risk and reducing productivity worker hours. Off-site construction solution, the majority of construction takes place in controlled factory environment, eliminating the problem of extreme weather condition. This also ensure consistently build quality regardless of extreme external condition. This is really interesting. The fast maturities, challenges with its major infrastructure project, Qatar needs fast construction techniques. Off-site construction solution, modular buildings can be produced in the factory while the site is being prepared, significantly reducing the construction times. The prefabricated modules are then transported to the site for assembly, which can often be done in a matter of days or weeks. For the sustainable development challenges, Qatar aims to be a leader in sustainable development and is looking for ways to reduce its carbon footprint. Solution with off-site construction, factory-built construction reduces materials wastage. In addition, modular buildings are often better insulated and more energy efficient. They can also be dismantled and reassembled elsewhere, reducing the need for the new raw materials. And even the sand of the Sahara can be used also for 3D printing, as I am working on that. We are working with many colleagues on how to use the sand of the Sahara in the 3D printing materials and models. So, off-site construction of finding sustainable solution. 5, lack of local skilled labor. This is challenging. We can be inspired by what is happening in other countries. Qatar relies heavily on foreign labor, which can sometimes lack specific skills. Solution with off-site construction in plant construction can centralize training, ensuring that all workers are well trained. It also reduces the realization of foreign labor as fewer workers are needed on the construction site. High costs, challenges. Construction projects in Qatar can be costly due to imported materials and labors. Off-site construction solution, modular construction is generally more cost-effective due to increased efficiency, reduces waste, and shorter construction times. 7, flexibility and rapid expansion. The challenges Qatar urban landscape is evolving rapidly, requiring flexible solution to meet changing needs. Off-site construction solution modular buildings can be easily extended, reduced, or reconfigured. This makes them particularly suited to a constantly changing environment. So the value creation in modular construction, safety, the safety of the value creator, the migrant worker who create the built environment in the Gulf is a major issue, especially as our climate becomes increasingly extreme. Adopting off-site manufacturing in climate-controlled factory conditioning will significantly improve the working condition of the value creator while making it easier to them to produce high-quality product to much higher tolerance. Quality, improving quality and tolerance will enable production to meet or approach passive housing standards in order to minimize the cooling load on structure. Working condition models can be assembled on the site at night when temperatures are cooler. Modular assembly processes requires far fewer personnel on site. Another reason why they are safer. Collaboration, and thank you for, there is a lot of ideas coming from many persons, Wasim, Mohammed Al Hussein, Hugues Bichala, Samer, and Slim, and many others, and Alan for sure. Collaboration to make prefabricated and modular construction safer and greener. It may be necessary to use relationship contracts that bring design and builder together at the outset of project. Once the client's contractor has kickstarted the process of developing a business case for the project and bringing together the key delivery partner. So, modular construction versus traditional construction, we can see some aspects. Optimal thermal insulation, airtightness, reflective materials, integrated HVAC system, rapid construction, design flexibility, and we can see the comparison between modular construction and traditional construction. Adaptation, rapid design, easy, better, efficient, and use of the high quality depends requires prolonged and possibility. In conclusion, as we say in lean construction, usually, collaboration, collaborate. Scan for digitalization, and this is very important. Moving from BIM to digital twin. Use processing in conjunction, while modularization and prefabrication. Design is very important, production and maintenance system as the product is developed. Managing assembly as a production process, working with the client usually in mind. Thank you so much for your attention, and I am ready for any question and any suggestion and any